People ask me sometimes if I'm an attorney. I said, no,
Right.
I'm not an attorney.
Right.
I'm actually much more than that.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rely on Local. I am your host, Nick Christensen. Rely on Local is a show dedicated to the survival of all good things local. Our local businesses have never been under as much stress as we have today. In our show, we will discuss all the great reasons you should rely on local. Today, we are excited to have Timm with LegalShield joining us today. Welcome to Rely on Local, Al. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
being here with us.
I appreciate being invited. Thank you.
Talking with you every time I do is a learning experience for me, and I really appreciate your wisdom and your insight on a lot of things. So having you here today has been a real treat for me. I think a lot of people have a lot of legal things going on in their lives, and they probably just don't know how to tackle it a lot of times. I think the legal world has an existence of non-clarity, if you will. And I think a lot of people are struggling with their best ways to battle the legal needs that they have. And so it's great to talk with you today because I know your LegalShield program, which is a fantastic cooperative program, is very needed for a lot of people. And the idea that people can come together and get the legal needs that they need at a reasonable rate is just amazing to me. So we'll be able to talk about with you a little bit here today. I'm looking forward to that.
Sounds good.
Yes. I think a lot of people, though, initially would love to know how you got here. You know, you've had agencies in the past. You've been involved with insurance and financial. I know that. Mm-hmm. Give us a little insight as to your background and your world. Go right ahead.
Well, I appreciate being able to share. I am on a journey, and it's been a roller coaster ride, to say the least, over the years. I am, going back, a World War II refugee.
Okay.
And I was actually born in Poland, occupied at that time by the Germans.
Wow.
All communism, socialism,
right.
Nazis. And we wound up I was a tiny tot back then.
Okay.
Born there, had to escape from there towards the end of the war.
Okay.
And wound up in Germany. And in Germany, of course, after the war was divided.
Right.
And as luck have it, we wound up in the East Germany.
Interesting.
Again, still in communism.
Oh.
And so in 1947, finally, my father, through the American Red Cross, found us.
Okay.
And they found us in East Germany. And
wow.
My dad was a soldier, scout, and fighting in Russia, Stalingrad, etc.
Wow.
And he made it back alive. Thank the Lord for that.
Okay.
And he found us. And
wow.
so we, my mom and us children.
Sounds like a movie. It sounds like a movie plot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then my mom had to, because my dad didn't want to go to East Germany because it's
right.
communism.
Oh,
He
sure.
left all that behind.
Right.
The starving, the starvation, the cold, the weather, and the killing, and the death, everything from the war. So we had to escape again.
Okay.
And my mom, she had a lion's heart and very compassionate but strong woman.
Okay.
And she took, we had 3 of us kids left out of 5 at the time, as I knew.
Okay.
Now I know we have had 7.
Wow.
So after several attempts, we escaped across through the underground movement and everything like that.
Wow.
And into West Germany. And my mother, she went back and forth to East Germany, snuck back across.
Oh my God!
For just to, because all you do is carry things.
Okay.
And she had 3 kids, and
Okay.
herself.
Sure.
And to do that, there's not much you can carry.
Right.
And she had to fend her way through. And so she went back to get whatever she could
Wow.
from where she was at in Upschutz. That's the name of the little village.
Okay.
Had the fortune. My sister took me back there several years ago on a trip.
Okay.
And so we wound up in 47, November 17th.
Wow.
When we were our last trek of the escape, if you will,
Okay.
to Western freedom.
Okay.
And
But then it took a long time from that point even to get into this country then.
yes,
Okay.
my father tried a number of times. Matter of
Okay.
fact, one time we were in Hamburg waiting for the ship, literally waiting for your ship to come in.
Wow.
And it was just thousands of us in the same position as us, refugees from the war.
Okay.
And trying to find a better life in America. And my
Sure.
father was a prisoner of war over here
Oh my gosh.
and in England as they, after the war, released,
Sure.
etc. So he wanted to come back to America because he had, even though he was a prisoner, there was food.
Right. You could see
And
what it was.
The people and the land.
Sure, the
And-
opportunity you could see.
yes,
Yeah,
for
okay.
his children. So here he was in his 50s and wanted to come to America. And so we tried several times. We were in Hamburg, and after 3 years sitting in an encampment, they came to us and said, I'm sorry, but the quota for the year has been filled. And we all had to go back to wherever we came from.
Wow.
And my dad, a diehard, a conviction of doing and follow-up, and he tried and tried till we finally made it in October 9th. And seeing how we didn't make it on the ship, and when the final time came, they said, well, how do you want to go?
Okay.
And plane or ship? He says, the fastest possible. I'm going by plane. So October 9th, I saw my first lady.
What year was that?
56.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's almost 9 years.
9
or so
years, yeah.
Of in between time. Wow.
Right, yeah. So
Wow.
it was a phenomenal journey, and of course, a lot of things happened in between. I mean,
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Our first meal.
We could do
once-
another podcast just on this journey, I think. I mean, it could be an hour long probably or more.
Yeah,
So that is very cool.
Yeah.
So after you got here then, obviously transition, language situations probably, figuring out the ways, but you really found America to be great, I guess, right?
Oh, I sure did, and
Okay.
you know, we didn't know the language, we didn't know anything about America,
Wow.
and so for another podcast, it was just awesome. The things took place, but
Sure.
I wound up going to school and learning in 2 years the language and ability to
Wow.
communicate,
Wow.
and they gave me an 8th grade diploma in 2 years.
Wow. Okay.
So,
You're doing something right.
yeah, it must have been, you know. So, but I was blessed being on the farm, small community,
Okay.
and so it worked my way forward. And then I attended Mayville High School after my father moved and became a janitor at a school and church
Okay.
in Mayville. And so we moved on, and from there,
Always
how
moving
the
forward.
parents are, they want to always have the children excel.
Yes.
And that's
yes.
the reason he came. He gave up whatever little we had in Germany, which
Sure.
was next to nothing.
Sure.
And so for his kids, he came over here.
Well, that's
And I
how it
was
should
the
be.
only
right?
one to go to school
Wow.
out of 3, and the only one that graduated from high school. And then I continued. They wanted me to go to 4-year college, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to deny his dream of having a little farm of his own.
Oh, okay.
So I went to a 2-year tech school in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And then after that, Uncle Sam came calling Vietnam time.
Yeah.
And so there I didn't want to be drafted, so I volunteered.
Okay.
Just the
I
beginning.
heard a lot of people did that.
Yeah.
Gave opportunities sometimes. My brother did that actually. He volunteered. And it
Right.
gave him an opportunity to choose a little bit more of what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was blessed being able to, during that time, wound up in Vietnam and Okinawa and Thailand and Japan,
Wow.
the Pacific
Whoop, whoop. Go right ahead. You just turn it. Yeah.
Pacific Theater. and just being there and helping people.
Sure.
And I enjoyed that. I even got involved in the USO, teaching the local Okinawans German, speaking German.
Oh my gosh! Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I took Japanese classes.
There you go.
You know, and because of my background in art and everything,
Sure.
I wound up actually being involved. And I found a soldier since then. He shared that he knew what I was doing. I shared with him doing leaflets.
Oh, sure.
And dropping leaflets from the C-130 plane, the four-engine planes back.
Kind of promotional, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It was promotional information, or
It was showing them by picture who the good guy. That we're the good guys, and the bad guy was Charlie, the Viet Cong.
Oh, I see.
And-
Okay.
And that little leaflet.
Propaganda, I guess.
Propaganda,
Yes.
psychological warfare.
Wow, interesting.
And because a lot of them couldn't read.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but they could understand that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I was involved in the designing and the artwork and layouts of
Interesting.
that.
Wow.
And that was dropped from 35,000 feet.
Wow.
And we called it the Freedom Pass.
Oh my gosh.
Because instead of them in the jungle hiding in the bunkers and that, they would, in the tunnels, they would show that little white piece of paper, and we would then take them, capture them, and instead of them killing the GIs,
Yeah.
and we killing them,
Yes.
we were involved in saving lives on both sides.
Oh, how great is that?
Yeah,
How great is
finding out more about what Charlie was doing, interrogations.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Information gathering.
Right.
It sounds like your whole life had some type of focus and journey of helping people. You know, I mean, from that point, you got into what? When you got back?
When I
What?
got back, I wound up as a commercial artist just for 1 year.
Okay.
But I didn't like the corporate structure.
Okay.
And I was naive at that point, very naive. And
We're all.
there was only, we came to America in 56. Here I am, 67. I came out of the service,
Wow.
so, and so long short, in 68, I started the career in the insurance field, helping
Oh, okay.
people.
Oh, okay.
Became a licensed insurance agent, and from there, moving forward, I wound up being hired by an agency.
Okay.
And then I bought into the agency, and then I sold it back. Was a good decision.
Okay.
Started my own agency and
Oh, there you
several
go.
different agencies.
Wow.
And then moving down here to Milwaukee and working in the financial planning, investments, helping people.
Sure.
At high school level, at college level, we held programs and working forward until
Nice.
back in '98, because financial planning is what I was focusing on. At
Sure.
that time, I sold my other agencies.
Okay.
And at that point, I wanted to take on something I can do when I retire, because like I like to say, I'm retired but not tired. I'm still kicking.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want to find that pathway like that. You know, it's hard to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
And so I took on a company back then as a service called Prepaid Legal, or LegalShield nowadays, DBA.
Okay.
And for the reason being, because I was doing financial planning
Sure.
and asking always the question, do you have a will?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, they have
Sure.
everything else, but they don't take care of the final document
Right.
to put a ribbon around their wishes, if you will.
Yes.
The love letter to the family left behind, you know.
point.
So I took them on because it was reasonable.
Right.
And nowadays, I like to say, would you rather pay $300 a year or $300 an hour for legal services?
There you go. What
And-
a difference.
Yeah, we do it on a subscription fee basis.
Oh, okay.
Every month, they pay a little bit,
Yeah.
and they have 24/7 availability of an attorney on our apps.
There you go.
We've gone a long ways, like everybody else, with apps.
Sure.
And so an attorney, then they never have to worry about when they pick up the phone and how much it will cost a phone call.
And that's the part I was talking about just a few minutes ago. I think a lot of people have fear of talking with somebody in the legal world. because they
Right.
think it's going to be so expensive that they can't do it. It's not worth it. I
Yeah.
can't get enough out of this to pay for the actual legal costs.
Right.
So I think that's huge when you can get access to the needs that you have legally in the legal world, but at a reasonable rate. And again, as I was mentioning a few minutes ago, it sounds like the group buy mentality really is strong there.
Mhm.
By the power of everybody coming together within the formula
Yes.
of LegalShield, you have access to have a full range, big gambit of information to help your legal needs.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Excellent,
It's
excellent.
very comprehensive. You don't, when people ask me sometimes if I'm an attorney, I said, no,
Right.
I'm not an attorney.
Right.
I'm actually much more than that. And that really throws them. And then I just say, hey, I bring a whole law firm to you
There you go.
because there's so many varieties of law.
Sure.
And when you pick up the phone, you really don't know which way it's going to go,
Right.
what your needs are until it's legally explained to you.
Well, that's a good point, because if you're talking to one firm, they might just do business, or they might just do criminal. You know, they might just. Then where do you go? Okay, now you have to go somewhere else.
Right.
It sounds with LegalShield, you have access to the many needs that you might have because of the access that you have of the group.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. And the company started back in '72.
Oh my.
Yeah, a long time ago. Harlan
Okay.
Stone Cipher was a sharecropper's son. And he worked very hard, and it's the American dream.
Sure.
From zero in 40 years, he sold it, the
Oh, okay.
business, but a lot of tears, pain, and suffering in the
Oh, I
meantime.
bet.
Because the model was, back then, attorneys didn't believe, yeah, right, it won't work.
Right.
You know, but now we have law firms standing in line wanting to come under our model, if you will, because
Oh, okay.
what I like to say, we are like the Uber of the legal industry.
Interesting.
We have
Interesting.
attorneys across the whole country, including Canada, all
Okay.
provinces of Canada. And we can offer, if I have an accident on the way to Florida and it's a tragic accident,
Okay.
the 800, I just pick up the phone, dial the attorney, even if it's the middle of the night, 24/7 emergency coverage.
Right.
And I'll have an attorney represent my needs, talk
Okay.
to me.
Sure.
And that attorney, for example, if it's a bad accident,
Yeah.
then it's a matter of, if I'm in, let's say in Georgia,
Right.
we have an attorney firm in Georgia because we're all state specific.
I see. I see.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Wisconsin, Minnesota, whatever state you're in, we have a state-specific needs covered on that
Fantastic.
basis.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the huge part there, because if you have a firm that you work with in a local area and you're not in the local area anymore, now what do you do?
Right.
And this has access to a lot more.
Yes. We have 39 firms across the country, law firms,
Okay.
and they are not employees of LegalShield. They're all
Oh.
independents.
I see.
And we have a quality control program that they have to meet our standard, and they're AV rated, which is the top shelf
Interesting.
of a rating they receive from the Martindale and Hubble, the company.
There you go. That's almost creating some type of feedback situation before you're even talking with them, because LegalShield has done that for you.
Correct.
You know, so it creates an opportunity of getting somebody the best to help you what you need.
Yes.
Okay.
So when they call in, our intake person, American speaking, because we're all American,
Okay.
and it will be taken, they take the information, they assign a case number, if you will,
Okay.
and then they'll give the bullet points on their need, and then the
Interesting.
attorney qualified in your area of need
There you go.
specializes in your need,
Okay.
whether it's real estate, whether it's a tragic situation, whether it's a trust, a will,
Sure.
whatever the need is,
Okay.
bullying, whatever. We come in, and then that attorney qualified in your need gets to talk to you. They already know the need,
Right.
and so they're able to address it directly. It's a
That's
very
amazing.
efficient method.
I think, again, it leads back to the thing I was saying before, that a lot of people feel when they're contacting a lawyer that they're probably never going to talk to the lawyer.
Right.
You know, you're never going to actually speak with anybody that can do something for you,
Mm-hmm.
because there's many layers probably of hierarchy within some firms or some places. Maybe you're talking to a paralegal or somebody that's just going to say, well, I'll have to check with the attorney on that or something like that. It sounds to me like LegalShield can really break that ice, that it can really open up much more.
Thank you. They do.
Yeah.
They really do, because you have a direct contact,
Okay.
an attorney qualified addressing your need.
There you go.
And they'll
Huge.
discuss it with you right away, and it cuts through the red tape or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And you're going right to solving your problem.
Again, more efficiency, like
Oh,
we're trying to talk
thank
about
you.
here. I think the efficiency of this is amazing. And a lot of people, again, in the legal world are scared of it because they don't think anything there is efficient.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's all per hour, and you're just, here's your cost structure, and
Right.
okay, well, we really don't work like that, so we'll have to find you somebody else. And maybe your opportunity is lost, or maybe your situation is compounded because of the amount of time involved and things like that. So it
Right.
never hurts to have something done quickly.
Right, and whether it's like I had an issue, one of our clients had a car problem, transmission went out, and supposedly he was notified, but he didn't receive a notification from the company, the maker of the car, and so $3,000 bill while he was on vacation in Florida. Here in Wisconsin, he had an issue.
Oh, okay.
So long and short of it, that $3,000 bill, all it took, one letter from our legal department, our law firm
Okay.
here in Wisconsin, to the law firm of the headquarters of the automaker, which
Right.
I won't mention their name.
Sure.
The $3,000 check was sent to the law firm.
Oh, okay.
It took just one letter in
Wow.
that case.
Wow.
And 100% of that $3,000 went directly to our client.
Oh, good point.
100%.
I didn't even think about that, because many times you're talking about a third or some type of a fee there involved on a percentage basis. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
So-
Because you're already paid them.
Every month.
Yeah. You've
Every
already
month.
paid. Oh, interesting. Wow, that's fantastic. So I think in many times, in kind of a closing here, what would you say if somebody, an individual out there in our vast world of YouTube and everywhere else that we have this posted, what is different and better when it comes to that? I think we talked about many of it, but what would you say in a minute time would be the biggest thing that LegalShield is different and better with?
No matter what, we have the attorney available to help them, whatever the situation, business owner, a CDL operator, a family plan, setting up a business plan.
Good point.
Whatever issues a business owner has, they come to us, and for pennies on the dollar, I like to say.
Sure, sure.
You pay a monthly fee. For example, we have business plans starting, we add a rider to the family plan.
Okay.
And that rider gives them expanded coverage related to the business.
I see.
And that goes, depending on the size of business, it just keeps, the trademark even.
Sure.
Patent issues could be addressed through our program
Sure.
also.
Different levels there of
Different
need,
levels of need.
depending on what
The
you have
larger the
going on.
company
Okay.
is, its availability of having an attorney, and have that attorney get back to you matter of outside limit 4 hours. And so I've had them call me back in 5-10 minutes,
Oh, okay.
depending on the issue.
Sure.
And they called me back even after the regular working hour. Their goal was here to return a phone call at least one time, get back to the client with the need.
Oh, okay.
And we enjoy helping people solve the problems.
There you go.
And I look at myself, I'm the first line of defense if
Sure.
there's a question comes
Sure.
up.
Sure.
So we handle the commercial drivers, as they are the providers, God bless them, they're on the front line providing transportation all
Very much
across the
so.
country. And we have a specialty plan for them to help them on the highways when they get
Interesting.
pulled over or when they have a tragic accident. We
Right.
have a special law firm just for them. And then we have our small business plans. We handle them through our law firm. Again, the specialties, whatever the need is.
Sure.
And then we have the family plan. And the family plan takes care of all the children, even going to college in Texas, New York, or wherever.
Yeah.
They are covered for situations. Even if they get pulled in at a beach party down in Miami, let's say, to have representation and then be able to leave instead of being in behind the bar, if you will, the wrong bars, till Monday morning, till the judge comes in.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's
some of the
awesome.
younger people might do some mistakes sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
it happens to all of us, you know. Yeah, and we have a awesome identity theft protection plan.
Right.
We cover up to 10 dependents on our identity theft program.
Wow.
And we
You're
restore
covering everything
people.
here. You got most bases covered here when you're talking legally. It's amazing.
It really is. It's
It
phenomenal service, and for the family plan, for less than $1 a day,
Nice.
we offer that family coverage. Identity theft, the same concept.
Fantastic.
And we even expanded our identity theft to cover all 3 credit bureaus, because sometimes you have just one, something falls between the cracks.
Sure.
We handle it totally that way. And you don't have to wait till the morning when the bank opens up to call them. If you see it at 2 o'clock in the morning, while you're on your computer, you can pick up a fraud alert, and you get notifications
Speed
on your
can be helpful
emails.
there. Yeah,
Very
speed
efficient.
Speed can be very
Yeah,
helpful.
so we
that's
do
fantastic.
all these, and we make it affordable to the masses. That's been appealing to me, because I've been helping people all my life to make things affordable.
Big time.
That's a key, and it just has been
Well,
discounts on the group side.
Yeah.
Well, group as an employee benefit, it doesn't cost anything to the
There's
employer.
a lot of things there. A lot of things. Member perks.
it's
I mean, there's a
phenomenal.
lot of fun stuff there.
The perks,
it's
like a
amazing.
rewards program,
Yes. that is
discount
amazing.
buying. Yeah.
Now, Al, how can people get a hold of you? What's the best way? How can they get a hold of you?
Well, my business is TFM Benefit Group. That's
Okay.
stands for Timm Financial Management.
Okay.
I've been a corporation since back in, I started in '68, and then I started my own corporation in the '80.
Okay.
And so I've been around a few years. And TFM Benefit Group, or my phone number is 414-807-2030.
Okay. So I think everybody out there should be giving Al a call. If you have legal questions, if you have legal needs, if you have a business, if you own a business, if you're individual that just has a lot of things going on or just want to be safe in your life, I think they should give you a call and talk to you about this program, because there is a lot there for everybody.
There certainly is, and the needs are so vast.
Yes.
And with COVID even,
Oh, my.
we have special instructions available for employees and for employers, documentation. If they have a
okay.
question on that, they even call up on that.
Oh, there you go. Well, again, if you have any questions, call Al, because this is the bottom line need that most people have in their lives. And the legal world is kind of scary, but it needs a lot of help. To help navigate, I think, is the big word there. So thank you, Al, so much for joining us today.
Thank you for allowing me to spend time with you. It's
Yeah,
been
it's-
fun.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
been fascinating learning about you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for joining us today with another episode of Rely on Local. We're helping local businesses, groups, organizations, the public find each other. Please subscribe to this channel. Please share this. Please like this video. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we really appreciate you joining us today. Have a great day. Thank you.